This is my American cichlid tank. It's got an angel, green terror, some severums, Acara, electric Acara, some rams. The other two were hiding. I don't know where they're at. They're back here. It's a little dirty. I just fed them and did a water change. But this tank, I don't know, I've probably had it a year now. I bought it from a fella. When I picked it up and contacted him to get it, it was still set up and running, so I asked him to put the fish in a bucket and leave about a half an inch of water over the substrate and put all the stuff from the filters, all the media, into Ziplocs for me, and he did. Went and got it, picked it all up. It was, I don't know if he's having an illness in it, or he just couldn't get it to be clean, or what, but he sold it to me for nothing. Almost felt bad taking it for that price, but whatever. Anyhow, algae was a mess. Brought it home, cleaned it up, got it filled up, set the temp, got everything running again. And since then, this tank has never been cleaned. Front panels, back panels, side panels, nothing. Ever. Never touched it. A lot of people told me I couldn't keep these rams with these other fish, but they've been in there for quite a while. Anyhow, this has a 48-inch fluval aqua sky light on it that turns on at 7:30 in the morning, turns off at 7 at night, and as you can see, no algae. There's a couple of media bags I put down there when I started it up just in case. They've been there ever since. But this thing's ran off of two AquaClear 110s that are filled with nothing but sponge. So that's got two of the AquaClear 70 sponges in it, and then two other, one's like 1 inch and one's like a half inch. It's all 30 ppi. And because it's all sponge, and because there's these little fish in there, and the angelfish really likes the flakes. Flakes are one of the worst things you can put in your tank. I mean, fish love them, they go crazy for them, but for keeping your tank clean, keeping algae down, it's one of the worst things. When I put flakes in here, I don't turn off the filters, but what I'm getting at is when I clean these filters, the top two always stay on the top. The bottom two are the AquaClear 70 sponges. So obviously the one on the bottom clogs first. So every couple of weeks, the one on the bottom, I'll take it out and give it 3 or 4 squeezes in a bucket or in the tap, whatever's closest to me. And then it'll go on top, and the AquaClear 70 sponge that was on top will go on bottom, and I just rotate them like that. The top two only get cleaned when it's needed. That way I'm never causing a mini cycle or anything like that. But having no floss or anything like that, all that buildup in there is what's trapping all the fine stuff. This tank is normally crystal clear, but like I said, I just did a water change and fed them, so it's kind of clouded up right now, but it'll be gone in an hour or so. But yeah, all that film, that biofilm, works as the floss. Another thing I should mention, a lot of people want wave makers to keep their substrate clean, and to me it's completely unnecessary. Some people use them to point them at the surface to agitate the surface, which is great for aerating the tank. It's all good. Even that big guy, he doesn't mess with them rams at all, but I feed him a lot. I feed him what he wants, and that way he doesn't care about the little fish. But in my opinion, when you set up any hang-on back, look at the water level. That's maybe a half inch from the top. And I do this on all my tanks for 2 reasons. One, to me it makes the hang-on backs work properly. But 2, Well, not necessarily properly, but if the power goes out, they'll restart. They won't drain out. They'll turn right back on with no issues. 100% of the time. A lot of people think that don't like hang-on backs, they won't restart, or aqua clears, to be specific. But no, if you let your water level get down to here, and then it turns off, it siphons the water out, and then they won't restart. Keep your water level high. Mine's probably right there. And they'll restart just fine. Anyhow, when you feel the water level as high as I do, where the water comes out of the aqua clear will be underwater, and it makes the water go across the top, which is one, aerating, but two, and more important to me, it makes the water come across the front of the tank, go down, and then go like that. It'll keep your sand perfectly clean. Now if you let your tank evaporate, the water's low, and then the aqua clears are pouring into it, it won't do it. Well, not as good. But if you keep it that high, it'll keep. You won't have to put anything in here to blow all the crud off the sand. They'll do it for you. Just save on your electricity bill. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But yeah, every one of my hang-on backs, doesn't matter what brand it is, I fill the water up till it's under the water, and the water runs across the top like that to get that circulating motion going in the tank. You see, it works pretty good. You can see that thing sucking all the crud in. And then when the fish swim around, anything that might get around the rocks or something, the current that they make with their tails and stuff will blow it out. It'll get sucked up. But yeah, this tank, never been cleaned. It's almost a year now. It's been set up with all these fish. You get fed twice a day. 12 hours of light. The 48-inch fluval, spotless. I mean, other than the water spots. That's my bad. This tank's in my basement. Nobody sees it but me. So I don't really care about keeping it that clean on the outside, but the inside matters. I love that little ram right there. It's really pretty. On this tank I do water changes. I take it down to about right there. I already told you about how I do the filters. But yeah, water changes are key. A lot of people think you should only do a 25-30% water change. It's not even worth doing. If you only got 1 or 2 fish in a tank like this, yeah, that's plenty. But in a tank like this, a lot of big fish, and these aquariums and that green terror, they're pretty big. And they get fed a lot. 25-30% water change it's not doing anything for you. The only way to keep the phosphates and the stuff that the algae eats down is to replace the water. So I do an 80% water change on all my tanks, no matter what. If you have a big tank, like this guy, I'm doing a water change on. This is a 165. You can see how low I got the water right now. I had to turn off the pump because it's too loud to do a video. I have to pump this water up out of my basement and outside. I do an 80% water change in it, but you're really not getting 80% water change because if you have big filters, you got all that water in there too. So if you're kind of worried about that large water change, you got to count in your filter volume too. But anyways, I like this tank. I wish I could have it upstairs, but I have too many. I don't think my floors could take it. Anyways, that's it.